guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Vitor.
And I'm Paula.
And today we're gonna talk about TFSA.
Yes, and we're gonna give you everything from what is a TFSA, how to open it, contributing, transferring between accounts, the tax perspective, and at the end we're also gonna talk about our TFSAs, when did we open it, how did we open it, and perhaps you could feel inspired and open your own TFSA, hopefully.
Wow. So stay tuned. Already smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and let's begin.
So, what is a TFSA? TFSA stands for tax-free savings account, and is a savings account that all of the contributions that you make are taxed, meaning that they won't deduct your taxable income. However, all of the money that you earn, such as capital gains, interest, dividends, and the withdrawals as well, are not taxable. They won't be included in your taxable income for that year. And the requirements to open a TFSA are quite simple, actually. You just have to be of majority of age, so 18 plus. You have to have a valid social insurance number, and you must be a resident of Canada. Now, the requirement of being a Canadian resident is a little bit tricky because you could be considered a Canadian resident if you live in Canada for more than 183 days in a specific year, or if you live outside of Canada but have enough residential ties to Canada. And this could be things such as a driver's license, a spouse, a home, a car, etc.
How to open a TFSA? Actually, it's quite simple, and the best way is online. You just need to access the financial institutions or credit unions or the insurance companies that best fit you and your needs, and just go through the process and open it. It's really simple. For sure they will ask you your SIN, your date of birth, and maybe some supporting documents. Some institutions that offer tax-free savings account are the big five, so CIBC, RBC, BMO, TD, Scotiabank, also AQ Bank, Tangerine, Simply. We have WEALTHSIMPLE, Custrade, Manulife, Desjardins, etc., etc. And as soon as you open your TFSA, you can start contributing to it. So let's jump to the table. As you can see here, we have the contributions limit for each year in the middle column and the cumulative contribution limit to that year on the last column, which means that any unused contribution will be carried forward to the following year. At the bottom right, you can see the total contribution limit up to 2021, 75,500. So, if you turn 18 in 09 or before, your contribution room will be the maximum amount to the date, which as of 2021 is 75,500. Now, let's get myself as an example. I turned 18 in 2011, so my total contribution room is actually 65,500 because I lost the first 2 years of contributions. One interesting fact is, even though I turned 18 in 2011, I didn't move to Canada until 2018. So I wasn't a Canadian resident until that year, 2018. However, the government didn't take away these years of contribution from me. Hence, I'm able to contribute the 65,500 as we saw before. And that's a really good point for immigrants, definitely. And if you over-contribute to your TFSA, well, in that case, you pay a penalty of 1% interest per month. And maybe you're thinking now, well, that's 12% a year, or if it's compound, it will be almost 13% a year. And if I invest in stock, maybe I can get a 20% return and I will be making money even though I'm over contributing and paying the penalty. Well, CRA is not stupid, so what they're gonna do if you start to over contribute a lot is they're gonna tax you 100% on your gains. So basically you will not make any money and you still have to pay the penalties. Okay, maybe now you're thinking, I guess I'm gonna open 2 or 3 TFSAs and then I will double or triple the amount that I can contribute and not pay any tax on my gains. Well, sorry to inform you, but that's not possible. You can open as many TFSAs as you want, but your contribution room will be still the same. And that's because just imagine the wealthy people, what they would do if that was possible. They will open many TFSAs and RRSP accounts and put their money there. They will not pay any tax and they will make tons of money free.
Now, the withdrawals. So you can withdraw money at any time, and remember, it's not taxable. But let's say for last year, for example, the contribution room was 6,000. So let's say you contributed the entire 6,000 and your TFSA is maxed out, let's say. And by December 2020, you decide to withdraw $1,000 for traveling. So because you withdrew that $1,000, that means that you have room still for $1,000 to contribute for the year 2020. However, if for whatever reason you don't use the $1,000 that you withdrew and you decide to put it back, you cannot do that in the same year because you have already contributed the whole amount. And even though you took it out, you will have to wait until next year, so 2021, for the $1,000 withdrawal to get carried over, and you're going to be able to contribute it in this year. So let's say the contribution room for this year is 6,000. Now your contribution room is going to be 7,000 because of the withdrawal that you had last year. Another thing to keep in mind is we said that all of the money that you contribute, let's say you invested and you earn interest. So at some point you'll have to take that out, right? But it doesn't mean, let's say you put in $50,000 and with interest your money went up to 60,000 and then you withdraw the 60,000. That doesn't mean that your contribution room will be 60,000. It will still be 50,000. Because if you contribute 60K instead of 50K, then remember that you are going to be charged a penalty. So transferring between TFSAs. As we said earlier, you could have multiple TFSAs and you can transfer money between them without any issue. However, you must contact the institution where you're receiving the money. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you withdraw the money and deposit it in your other TFSA, that counts as a contribution. So for example, let's say I have 2 TFSAs, one with Questrade and one with WealthSimple. And at the beginning of the year, I put the whole contribution room into my Questrade TFSA, which was 10,000. And by the end of the year, those 10,000 turn into 15,000 with interest. And now I want to transfer those 15,000 to my WealthSimple account. If I take out the money myself and put it into WealthSimple, my contribution for that year is no longer 10,000. It will be considered 15,000. But if I had contacted WealthSimple from the beginning and asked them to make this transfer for me, my contribution room will be 10,000. So my contribution would not be affected. Also keep in mind that there are some fees related to these transfers. So just heads up. So just a little summary, guys. You can have your TFSA and all the contributions that you make are taxable, but all of the money earned within the account and the withdrawals are not taxable. You can also have more than one TFSA. Just remember not to overcontribute because your limit is the same and you could be paying penalties and taxes on the excess amounts. And if you would like to transfer money within your accounts, just contact your broker, because if you decide to do it yourself, you could lose contribution room. So now you're probably wondering, how do I open a TFSA? Because you're excited and you see all of the amazing benefits that this account provides. And well, our first tip would be to open it as soon as possible and start contributing as soon as possible. But only do that once your basic needs and your emergency fund are taken care of, or at least 50% of your emergency fund. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the link to a video of emergency fund and how to build it. But yes, I, for example, had a lot of debt and I didn't have my emergency fund saved. So I had to take care of that first, pay my debt, build my emergency fund. And after that, this year, I finally opened my TFSA and started contributing.
Our tip number 2 would be start investing as soon as you open your TFSA account. Don't put money and let it sit there forever, not earning any interest, because that's a waste of money, because it's already historically proven that time in the market is better than timing the market. Also, a suggestion, don't go with banks because usually you have a low return on your TFSA investment. We use WealthSimple, and if you're interested in opening an account with them, we have the link below that you can click and earn money. $10, it's something. I actually started in 2018 with Robot Advisor from WealthSimple. And after studying more about investments, I moved to Custrade. But then I changed my strategy and I went back to WealthSimple, but not with the Robot Advisor right now. I'm investing by myself.
And I take benefit of his knowledge. So that's it for this video, guys. We really hope you enjoyed it and got the most out of it, of course. And let us know if we inspire you to open a TFSA account, or if there are any questions that you have, just leave it in the comment down below.
And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share with your family and friends, and activate the notifications because it's really important.
So that you don't miss any of our future videos, guys. Yeah?
Exactly. And stay tuned till next time. See you.